Hey everyone, Arkham here, and today I have a bit of a different video for you guys. So, a bit ago, I had an idea for a video series that I wanted to cover about pretty much a what-if scenario of different killers and survivors, characters in general, that we don't already have in the base game of DBD being brought in to the actual game, and just seeing what their stories and bios and pretty much anything like that would be. So, in this new series that I'm calling The Fog Illustrated, we're going to be going over some of those. Now to start off, we have a custom story that I've written for William Afton, aka the Yellow Rabbit from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So sit back, enjoy the narration and the drawings that I've made for this, and if you guys like this video, leave a comment and a like and subscribe and all of that, and let's get on with it. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was a huge place for kids in the 80s. Created and founded by William Afton, the restaurant became a smash hit during its golden years, spanning from it a popular TV show, games, merchandise, and an instantly recognizable cast of colorful animatronics, until one fateful day in the business's history, tragedy struck this once joyful establishment. Through shadowy cover, William Afton conducted sick, twisted murders and experimentations within his own business's walls, forming the legend of the 5 missing children's incident that spawned legend within the local Utah town. Police searched Freddy's top to bottom, yet never being able to find the children's bodies. Some claim, though, that a strong stench could be detected coming from William's animatronics. The restaurant closed down, leaving William to lock the doors and close the business for good, but still keeping the keys to the door in his back pocket. After some unexplainable events while rummaging through the old pizzeria, events that one could only claim to be supernatural, William took to investigating only to discover that his creations had taken lives of their own, strolling around the pizzeria at night to ward off intruders from their now defunct home. William smiled, a twisted plan forming in his mind to take advantage of this new discovery. He was going to fulfill his bloodlust and grow his newfound robotic family. Using the cover of Steve Raglan, he convinced a man named Mike Schmidt to take up a night security guard job within his establishment. The job was simple enough: check the cameras surveilling the building. Oh, and keeping the place tidy. William had ordered his animatronics to befriend Mike's younger sister, Abby, to gain her trust and eventually lead her to the back rooms where a shiny new doll suit was awaiting its new host. His plan came to a halt, as unexpectedly his daughter Vanessa had come to put a stop to his plans, being one of the only witnesses to his crimes. Donning his yellow rabbit suit he used to commit his terrible deeds so many years ago, he entered through the main building's entrance and started his rampage. He kicked Mike across the room, unsheathing his knife and declaring that Mike was finished. Vanessa arrived, aiming a gun at her own father. William scoffed, calling his daughter's bluff that she wasn't going to use that. A shot rang across the dining room, the bullet ricocheting off the yellow rabbit's suit. In retaliation, William lunged out at his daughter's throat, plunging his knife into his own daughter's abdomen. A look of sorrow filled William's face as she collapsed onto the floor. But no one could escape. Not now. He turned to finish the job, only to see Abby scrawling on empty paper with crayons, making pictures that showed a yellow rabbit terrorizing those same 5 children from all those years ago. William froze in place, his creations turning to view the drawing, then turned their attraction to William. Their eyes glowed red now with malice, their robotic stares piercing his confidence. Before he knew it, William caught himself yelling at his own creations, scowling at the animatronics for being lesser than him, weaker than him. They retaliated against him, causing the spring locks within his costume to go off. The metal cranks pierced William's skin, crushing his eternal body parts and causing agonizing pain. Even through all of that, he attempted to keep his intimidating appearance and lifted the rabbit head above, claiming that he always comes back. As he put the rabbit head on, the spring locks continued to go off. The forces of the spirit started to debilitate the structure of the restaurant, causing the roof to cave in. As Mike and Vanessa escaped into what William saw as a very dark cloud of dust, William was dragged into the back room of the restaurant by Foxy's hook. His bloodied body was dragged into the room and placed up against one of the shelves. He was left there, cold and alone, to forever rot within the confinements of his own establishment. William shivered in the corner of the decaying room, the agonizing pain of the spring locks keeping him awake. As he shook and bled, he noticed a small figure standing at the doorway to the room. Through bleeding eyes, he saw it was one of the children that he had snuffed out all those years ago. He was there to taunt him, to laugh at him, William thought. But something was off about the child. He couldn't quite tell at first, but as William began to raise a hand out in a last-ditch effort to receive some morsel of help or pity, the child started to twitch and shiver. The face of the child started to distort. William wasn't sure if this was simply the effect of blood loss or if this really was happening. As William reached out for whatever this thing was at this point, a cloud of black fog started to creep into the room right behind the vision of the child. The spirit slowly started to walk towards William, extending a hand out in response to William's. As he reached closer for the hand of the spirit, William could swear that the hand he was reaching for was starting to slowly form into a black, creeping claw. As the fog began to fill the room and surrounded William, he got close enough to finally reach out and touch whatever this thing was. When they met, his vision was completely covered with black fog, and after that, William was gone. William found himself now standing in a forest. The pain and agony of the spring locks piercing into his body were suddenly gone. He looked around, confused and dazed, but also surprisingly thankful. Whatever this thing was, it had given William a second chance to conduct his dark deeds in this strange new place. The fear and terror he brought in his reality, he would bring onto this one. Because, as he claimed time and time again, William Afton always comes back.